So something I think is interesting is we both have two channels, right?
Yeah.
We have our main channels that are quote unquote having success. You just got
Success.
but
These are different levels, people.
you reached a milestone that may to some people listening may be like no big deal, but you are eligible for monetization on YouTube with over 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 public watch hours. I've been monetized for a while now. And
35 years.
Earning revenue and closing on 27,000 subs. I've done sponsorships, all this stuff, right? We both have second channels, and both of our second channels, at least, first of all, I'm not telling really anybody about it. It's ridiculously simple in comparison to all the production that goes into my main channel with all the edits and tutorials and live streaming and all this.
And the same goes for...
And your second channel is almost as simple as something can be. Do you think that what we're doing is a response to any feelings or fears that our main channels are being consumed by plastic molecules? Or that they could be, or that we could give in more, or you could give in more to that. And
so
that
I need to think on this, but the first thing that struck me when you said that was complexity.
Yeah.
I think a human tendency is to make things more complex because I think, we talked about earlier, serving your ego.
Yep.
I think complexity serves our ego. If it's complex, well, not just anybody can do it.
Right.
Hey, this is special. This is I'm applying. Whoa.
Sorry.
This is something only I can do. Complexity serves our identity. And that's not like a grand realization or anything, but I think when you simplify things, when you're not afraid to simplify things, some of the best film or moments of films, some of the best photography, I think it's blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
And the greatness of it is the lack of complexity.
Right.
And there's certainly things that, have a lot of complexity and they pull it off. That's certainly, this isn't a blanket statement, but I think a lot of the things that we find most appealing as a species are simple and yet elegant, or simple yet
right.
We talked about this a little bit in an earlier episode, but that idea of, when you build something off of intellect, the furthest you can go is the max of your intellect.
Right.
When you leave room for, whatever's out there floating around the ether, when you leave room for that and for interpretation, suddenly that you're not capped by your intellect. Everything's open. And I think sometimes simplicity can, works in favor of that, not, capping yourself with your intellect. And I think, the plastic, that's kind of what maybe it's the plastic is a byproduct of that, or that more plastic feeling. I'm just thinking of the Radiohead song.
Fake Plastic Trees.
I think we both love that song. I think that was almost almost the podcast. Yeah. Yep. No, but I think what is things become plastic? It's because we're making them more complicated, right? You've got non-GMO crops,
right,
or organic crops, but then we add pesticides because, we can increase our yields with the pesticides. But then the pesticides are causing a reaction and we're killing off more, so we need to add more pesticides. And then, we need to change the soil composition and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And you're creating a new problem and you're solving it, and then you're creating a new problem and you're solving it. And then what happens at the end of that is you have a lot of farmers that are just like, I'm just going to go non-GMO because the seeds are cheaper and the yield is, it's fine. And,
it tastes better.
And it tastes better. Yeah. So it's, we're just creating, I don't know why that was the example, but we're just creating all these new problems and, we have to solve them. And societies go through the same thing, right? Where you're creating all of these new problems and they're completely artificial.
Yeah.
And then as you're solving the new problems, you're getting so far away from the original spark, the original, light, the intention that you're like, oh, but now you're worried about solving some offset of problems and you're not even focused on the core idea anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that leads to artificiality, or to, things being plastic.
It had been a golden afternoon, and I remember having the familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the summer.